achieved.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Studio Day, Heifer Day Quarantine. It's nice to see you. So I've had the benefit now of rewatching the Cowboys game. NFL Game Pass is donging around out there, refusing to put up the All-22 yet, but that's cool. You can still rewatch and get something out of it when you watch the condensed version of the game on Game Pass, but I sure would appreciate if you guys put up the coaches tape. Thanks, NFL Game Pass. You hear me. I know you do. But let me throw out a couple of things that jumped out to me rewatching the game. Because you can watch a football game in real time, and you'll have what your gut tells you, but you don't learn a whole lot because you just don't have time to really go back and look at each play. So I'm going to give you the two biggest concerns that I have about the Cowboys after rewatching, after taking another look at every play. The two biggest problems I have, and also I have a trade idea to fix the Cowboys' safety position, and I like it. And if I like it, you should like it. So shout out to the 20%ers as well at youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh. Also shout out to the guy by White Rock Lake. I believe his name was Brian. I was walking around the trails down there by the lake with the dogs, and he said, "Aren't you the cowboy guy on YouTube?" And I was like, "Well, but I do radio." And he was like, no, not radio. So just shout out to you. Listen to the G-Bag Nation from 2 to 7 on The Fan. That's the full-time gig, okay? This video will be on 1053thefan.com. Trade idea for Cowboys at safety, and my two biggest concerns after the rewatch. Biggest concern, number one, is the next at least 2 weeks at offensive line. Pro Football Focus had them graded as the third worst offensive line in the league through week one, and I can get down with that because I think the amount of times that Aaron Donald was wrecking plays, and Michael Brockers as well, and a little bit of Leonard Floyd, it was alarming, and it was almost everybody. Tyron had a penalty, but Tyron Smith played well. Joe Looney played okay, and Zach Martin played okay, which is not what you're used to from Zach Martin. But Connor Williams had big-time struggles, and Terrence Steele had big-time struggles at right tackle. And with that sort of protection, you're going to have problems scoring points. You're going to have problems pushing the ball down the field. That was one of the best things the Cowboys did a year ago, is they threatened you downfield. They threatened you down the seam, and they didn't have time for that against the Rams. Too many members of their offensive line were weak links on Sunday night, and it's surprising when that group includes Zach Martin. So I don't think that that'll happen again next week, but you are going to be dealing with Grady Jarrett, Tack McKinley. I'll go over sort of the Falcons matchup later in the week, but you are going to be dealing with another one of the premier interior players in the game in Grady Jarrett, and Zach Martin's going to have to play better. Joe Looney, I think if he plays the way he played in week one throughout the season, you can deal with that. That'll be okay. Connor Williams is going to have to be a lot better than he was on Sunday night, or we're going to have to see what Connor McGovern has. And at right tackle, you're just trying to survive. You're trying to survive, and hopefully Lyle Collins is ready after his 3 weeks on the IR stint. But they just weren't good enough. Even Zeke getting 4.4 yards per carry was a pretty solid accomplishment for him, considering the way that they were blocking up front. They gave him some holes, but he had to do a lot of work. And shout out to Tony Pollard, too. In his limited snaps, Tony Pollard, once again, is a factor every time you give him the ball. So this is the best I've seen Zeke look to open a season. Somebody was telling me, because I put up the Pro Football Focus, had him as the number 1 graded running back and Dak as the number 5 rated quarterback for week 1. And I just posted it on Twitter at JC1053 and said, is that good? And, of course, people got mad in 2 different ways. One, it was like, no, Dak sucked. And I'm like, well, okay. And 2 was like, you don't get to be happy when Zeke plays well. You hate Zeke. You never want to run the ball. It is true that I would rather run more efficient plays more often than less efficient plays, but that doesn't mean I don't want the running back to play well when he's on the field. So seeing Zeke play in the way that he played in week 1 was awesome. Seeing Tony Pollard and his very limited snaps play awesome was great. They got to block better. They got to protect better. They got to do a better job opening holes in the run game, and then you'd have a chance to have even better. I think Zeke was like 4.5 or 4.4 per carry If you could have blocked better, it would have been interesting to see what he could have done with that, especially when he did the whole and beat like 5 Rams for a touchdown. Zeke's got the juice right now. Pollard's got the juice. Your receivers are really good. If they can give the plays long enough to develop where they can take some shots downfield, this offense is still going to be really, really good as soon as you block. You're going to have to be able to block because they couldn't create a solid pocket on any sort of regular basis in that game, and that is a problem. What does the tape say, number 2? My other biggest concern about this team is linebacker play. Now, Van Der Esch got hurt, but before he got hurt, he was bad. Jaylon Smith, I think that was the worst game I've ever seen him play. I mean, just take your pick on like, oh, what did he do wrong? Well, sometimes on a screen, he'd go running around this way to try to run around a block, which you can't do because it opens up the entire screenplay. Sometimes you're out of position and just allowing those plays to happen. It was a lot of everything. And he was way too easy to block. When guys would get to the second level, he's washed out of plays. When guys got their hands on him, the play was over for Jaylon. So they put him at weak side linebacker for a reason, to try to keep him cleaner than that and give him a chance to just run and hit. That's what he's best at. Even when Van Der Esch left, they didn't kick Jaylon Smith back to middle linebacker based on what I was seeing. It looked like Joe Thomas came in and played the middle, and they're going to leave Jaylon at weak side linebacker no matter who the middle linebacker is because they don't want him having to contend with blockers a lot because he tends to run around them or get blocked by them, and he needs that free runway. His Pro Football Focus grade, by the way, was 29.5 on a scale of 100. That was Jaylon. So that's the worst game I've ever seen him play. I think linebacker is a long-term concern for this team because Van Der Esch, even though it's a collarbone and not his neck, which is what everybody's worried about, you got to view Leighton Van Der Esch as he's hurt guy. Hurt guy stays hurt. And Leighton Van Der Esch, I think you're foolish if you prepare your team in a way that doesn't acknowledge there's a strong chance he's Sean Lee. And if you're counting on him and don't have quality depth behind him to be ready to play, you got a problem. And you need to be in the market to upgrade at your other linebacker spot. I know Jaylon's got a long-term deal and he's making a lot of money. And in 2018, he was a good player. That's what's confusing. I thought he would never play NFL football when he declared for the draft because I know that there were NFL team doctors who thought that he would never play NFL football. He beat that. 2018, he was a good player. But now I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's that in his head he's still Notre Dame Jaylon and he thinks he can like slip around these blocks and then, wow, I'm back in here and making this play, but he physically can't do that. So linebacker is a problem, and they're going to need to do something about it. I don't know what you can do this year, but they need to do something about it because they are hurting at linebacker, and that was one of the things that when you use a first round and an early second round pick and then also a second contract for one of them, you're expecting that to be a strength, and that was absolutely not a strength for the Cowboys in week 1. Now, trade idea. My trade idea for you. So you're playing the Rams, and I'm watching, and the guy who's playing most of the snaps at strong safety for the Rams is Jordan Fuller, rookie out of Ohio State. I guess Taylor Rapp was banged up in camp, and so Jordan Fuller got a lot of reps. And I don't know if maybe this won't work because maybe the story is just that Taylor Rapp was limited to 15 snaps because he's still working his way back in. But if they fell in love with, and I saw some Rams writers saying, well, they really like what Jordan Fuller did in camp and he's going to be their starter, I'll take Taylor Rapp off your hands. He was a second-round pick for the Rams, not this past draft, but the one before. So you've had a year of him and change. You used a second-round pick, but if you've got a guy you like better, could I get him for a 4th and a 6th? And then I don't have to worry about one of my safety spots for the next 3 seasons. Let's go. That's the trade idea. I know you want Earl, and Brandon Carr's probably going to get a look to see if he can help you out. I don't think Darian Thompson was awful, but I don't think he was good enough. I still want to upgrade that spot if I can. So Taylor Rapp, that's my guy. I'm calling the Rams, and I'm being like, hey, what's going on there? You guys like Fuller? You like him? Okay, cool. Can I give you a couple of day 3 picks for your other guy? We'll take him. Thanks, guys. Maybe even a 4 and a 5. If they're like, no, he's a second-round pick. We're not going to give him to you for a 4 and a 6. All right, 5. 4 and a 5. What if I give up even a 4, 5, and a 6? Cowboys got a bunch of comp picks. I believe 4 of them coming for free agents that left the team. How many picks you want? Which ones you want? You just can't have the premium picks. I got some extras I can toss to you. Give me your strong safety. Give me Taylor Rapp. Let's go. Gets me one of my draft guys. I've been trying to get him. I wanted to draft him instead of Tristan Hill. And shout out to Tristan Hill, by the way, on the 3rd and 3. I'd never seen a giant man run so hard in my life. Chasing, I believe that was Malcolm Brown, and Trayvon Diggs made the tackle on the sideline to make it 4th and 1, and then the Rams were cowards and punted it back to the Cowboys to give him a chance. Tristan was trucking. How did Tristan Hill play? He survived. But he's playing. And hopefully he can continue to grow. Still a really young prospect. So that's my safety idea. Trade for Taylor Rapp. I'm in. Let's do it. I don't know where I put your guys' mailbag questions, if we're being honest. Like, that one was for the Rams game. No, that's Dak and Deshaun Watson stuff, and I'm not doing that today. I'm not Dak fighting y'all today, I promise you that. You guys know where I put your mailbag questions? Maybe I put it on this notepad. Oh, this looks like some. Here we go. Aha! I found it. Jimmy says, I'd like some NFC East talk for tomorrow. Maybe you'd like to put things in perspective for Cowboy fans on the ledge. Don't be on the ledge. It's been one game. Explain how their 0-1 is much better than the Eagles' 0-1. Yeah, it's better to lose to the Rams than it is to Washington. Nothing about the Rams game that would suggest Dallas is in serious trouble. Nothing they can't clean up with some more practice and experience for the young guys. Well, I don't know how you're going to clean up right tackle. Linebacker, I guess you could have some hope that you can clean that up because you've seen Jaylon play well before. But yeah, like the Eagles gave up 8 sacks. Carson Wentz made some terrible decisions and some dumb throws. Eagles could be in trouble. The Cowboys are definitely in less trouble than that. Logan, can we get some Zeke love in the next video? Felt like he came ready to play. Light on his feet and powerful. Broke some tackles. Made 4 guys miss on his touchdown catch. Zeke looked phenomenal. Phenomenal. The Lunatic. Disappointing loss, Jeff. Can you talk about what you've heard about the decision to start Terrence Steele? Yeah, what I heard is that he earned it over Cam. Let me get my Cams right. Not Fleming. He's gone. Irving. That he earned it. He was the better guy in camp, and they were like, well, we're going to play the better guy. And then I believe Cam got hurt anyway on a kick. But they say he earned it, and I'm down for that. I'm down for meritocracy. Colt, Jeff, I'm concerned about our linebackers. LVE can't stay healthy. Jaylon looks like he has ankle weights on when he runs. Not sure what we can expect from Sean Lee. He's hurt. And Joe Thomas, do we need to upgrade the position? What say you? Absolutely. I just don't know when you can do that. Maybe draft and free agency. But yeah, you can't be pretending that you've got 2 really good starters at linebacker because you don't. Alex, what up? After watching All 22, haven't seen it yet. They haven't released it yet. Did the defensive ends ever play contain on the bootleg and stretch runs? Very rarely. Aldon Smith finally did once where he's like, you know what? Cooper Kupp's run across formation. I'm going to hit you, and then I'm going to hold the quarterback contain here. But, yeah, very rarely. Hurricane made it to 1249. Who's still here? 1322. You said your grades are better than Pro Football Focus's. Which Pro Football Focus grades do you disagree with? Yeah, I do think I grade the Cowboys better than they do because I don't know who's doing their grading or how they can pretend that everybody that does grading is grading the exact same way when there's subjectivity and trying to guess what people are doing on every play. What do I disagree with? Let's see. I have their grades pulled up. They thought Dak played well. They thought Zeke played well. That's true. They thought the offensive line was bad. That's true. They thought the defensive line, except Aldon Smith, was bad. That's fairly true. They thought the linebacker play was atrocious. That's true. They were really kind to Cheeto. They had Cheeto as the highest graded defender, followed by Aldon Smith and Xavier Woods. I would probably have Aldon as the highest graded defender there. But I don't think they butchered anything this week. Maybe we'll see next week. Let's see here. Jacob, I understand it's week 1, but how alarming is it to see the team has a lot of the same issues as last year? They still have a weak run defense and bad drops from receivers. Sure do. 2 bad drops. 2 Amari Cooper drops on 3rd down. A Dalton Schultz drop on 3rd down. That was a little too familiar. You don't need those. That's bad. What's alarming to me is that offense didn't look like Mike McCarthy didn't want us to see anything so that he could have all his secrets going into the year. What were you hiding, bro? I've seen that offense before. I've seen that offense way too much. I've seen an offense that runs on early downs that leaves them on 3rd and long. I've seen an offense that relies on comeback routes more than any other route in the playbook. I've seen this show before. What were you hiding? We don't want to show teams anything. Teams didn't have to see anything. You are who you were a year ago. Pre-snap motion comes free. They don't charge for it. Run it on every play. They motioned Amari Cooper like 3 times, but it was just a trot from one side to the other, and then he would get set, and then you'd snap the ball. That's not threatening a defense. That's not confusing a defense. That's not throwing them off balance. That's not misdirection. That's half-ass. I've seen this offense before. I thought it was supposed to be something new. And maybe because they didn't have their right tackle, they thought they couldn't do whatever they wanted to do. But I've seen this show before, and this show ain't good enough. Okay, leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. Make sure that you are subscribed, youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh. Make sure you are mashing the like button. We need the like button mashed. And again, in the comments, what do you want to talk about tomorrow? I got you. Hopefully the All-22 will come out. And we'll be on to Atlanta soon. We're just not yet. Trade for Taylor Rapp. All right? Unless he's just slow rolling his way back into his starting spot. And then we can't trade for Taylor Rapp. I don't know if I want to trade for Jordan Fuller. I need to see more of him. But I do want to trade for Taylor Rapp. All right, guys. I'll catch you on the radio today. I love you. Bye.